This committee's having a difficulty about what your formal role is when it comes to government policy. You advise government on the evidence about drugs issues. Would that be correct?
Yes, the Council has a statutory duty under the Misuse of Drugs Act to advise ministers on the reduction of drug-related harms.
And what usually happens to that advice?
If that advice is to tighten control on drugs, is generally accepted. If that advice is to loosen control on drugs, is generally refused.
It's next to useless then, given the evidence that we've heard about the fact that drug consumption rooms work internationally, that decriminalisation seems to make...
I would strongly dispute that the Council is next to useless.
The government knows this evidence, though.
The government doesn't always know the evidence. We are distillers of the evidence.
Isn't that your job to give it to them?
We do give it to them, yes, and it's the government's prerogative to refuse or accept it. Sometimes they accept it. So, for example, when we recommended that naloxone should be made more available in 2013, it was made more available, and that's probably saved people's lives. In 1988, when we advised the government that it was more important to keep people alive than it was to punish them for using drugs, the government accepted that advice, and we had to create a harm reduction system that was the envy of the world and saved loads of people's lives.
So you advise government, based on the evidence that you see and you've acquired, probably some that you've even commissioned, look at international examples, you present that to government. If it's something which suggests a hardening approach to drugs, they tend to accept it. If anything which leads to a more liberal approach, they say, no, we don't like that. It doesn't fit with our general policy of sending a message, which seems to be government policy when it comes to...
Yes, which I think is fascinating, because we've just heard from senior police officers with a wealth of experience that they can no longer toe the government line, which is that we need to criminalise people to send a message to reduce harm. We've heard from these senior police officers that just does not fit with their professional expertise.
Do we not need a better arrangement in this then? Where you spend all this time presenting them with evidence which is then rejected, and then conditions and situations possibly get worse. We've got these drug deaths that we're here in Scotland. Do we not need to make sure the government can accept the evidence?